shop na mi kan download. Mi kan download, mi kan download, mi kan download na TikTok. Shop na mi kan download, mi kan download, mi kan download, mi kan download na TikTok. Shop na mi kan download, mi kan download, mi kan download, mi kan download na TikTok.
Alrighty, and we are back. Hello, folks. How are we doing? Hope we're having a great day after a surprising end to Game 1 as YUBI managed to pull out a game as INT inted it around the Dragon Pit. I have to say that was a pretty shocking play in all honesty, but I'm very excited now to see game number 2. I am looking forward to seeing what INT decides to do in response. I do expect them to kind of pull out all the stuff and be like, okay, we've got the dust shaken off, let's kick it off and let's get going.
Yeah, I mean, they were definitely in a pretty commanding spot in the driver's seat for most of that game. I was very surprised as well to kind of see them just lose. However, again, like, I feel like everybody at this point knows YUBI is kind of just known for doing that. Their early and mid game don't necessarily matter to them. All that matters is that they eventually just out team fight you. They make the right decisions a lot, and it's very hard to punish them after a certain point in the game, which is very frustrating because you always have a lead, and then it always just dashed away, and you're like, ah. It's more tilting when you're ahead and you lose, and it always happens.
Yeah, and so it's going to be kind of interesting to see exactly how INT decides to respond. So, you know, let's say taking a look here at these picks and bans that we've got coming out right now. It's already pretty exciting. We've got, hold on, I feel like we got a Syndra and a major difference.
I have a story about utility monsters. Skarner, Pure Llama and I were playing a Clash game, and he was our jungler. And he picks Skarner, and then we lose in 15 minutes. And he goes, "If you guys aren't going to take this seriously, I'm not going to try." And he was like 1-9. So we're going to see how this goes.
We are going to see how it goes, and unfortunately, we're still waiting on Spectre delay here, so we've got a couple of minutes to take a look at these two drafts right here before we'll probably send things to a short break before hopping into the game itself. I do like the fact that we've got a Victor pickup. Was banned out last round, so
I think it's smart.
Yeah, I feel like that's going to be really good for YUBI, especially whenever you've got champions like Braum and Poppy and Sejuani that kind of want to go in and just sit there. And so that's going to be really easy if Victor's able to drop down their ultimate on a perfect spot. It just kind of sits there damaging the entire team the entire time.
The problem is Syndra is really strong, and I would say Syndra does not necessarily have an issue with Victor just farming in lane. You also have pretty good pick potential, at least before the evolves come in. You just do a lot of damage on Syndra. You scale kind of in a similar manner. You pump out a lot of damage. You have a lot of CC. I don't know if he's going to go first strike versus Victor, but first strike Syndra's pretty gross, so we'll see.
Yeah, but Syndra's also a little bit more single target rather than AoE. I mean, Skarner does have great pick potential focusing on Ultravox. That's the one that's kind of got me a little iffy.
Well, Skarner is either going to do very, very well, or Skarner is going to be the most useless thing that has ever existed, and I'm going to lean toward, I'm going to say useless, so that means that he's going to pop off.
Especially with the way things went last game, where we were kind of, not to lie, we were a little bit INT simping.
I mean, they were up like trillion, like their tempo was crazy. It's not even simping, they were just ahead.
Their tempo was crazy, but if you look at the gold leads, it's really about even. You kept calling it out, and I kept refusing to look at it as like a serious thing.
Yeah, it was kind of weird seeing them only have a 2K-ish gold lead, despite the relative mass success that the upper side was having.
Well, okay, so based on these champions, I have not gotten down the dragon algorithm for this patch yet. But do you have a prediction as to what soul we might get? Because it's usually I think deep down that it's based on the champions that are selected will kind of determine what dragon ends up showing up. I don't believe we're going to get an infernal soul this game. I'm kind of leaning towards a Hextech soul.
I'm going to go wind soul because it's anticlimactic in lane. I mean, it's like a useful dragon, obviously, but it's not. No one gets pumped. You go, oh shit, wind soul, like it says that. Yeah. There's no fun effects. You just move faster. Everyone has a million move speed anyways in League. Like, who cares?
There is, and there's a lot of CC on the side of industries.
Everyone has. Back in my day, like 6 champions had patches.
We were
happy about it.
Rise was still on his 3rd rework.
I honestly miss a few of those. Sometimes they kind of popped off with a few of their Rise reworks.
It's honestly kind of surprising we haven't had one recently.
I think he's just useless, and they're like, you know, we
They
don't.
broke him too much.
It's easier just to make him. It's like kind of like a one of those things where if it's like above a 46% win rate, that means it's probably too broken for professional play for it to exist. Like Aphelios has to permanently be essentially the worst AD carries, like win rate wise, in order for him to function. And he's still like a very safe answer to every single pick in every single professional game.
I think that
like
is, yeah, I think that's a good example of traditional or like lower tier levels of play versus higher tier levels of play, where it's like champions with a low win rate does not necessarily mean the champion is unbalanced. It just means you can't play them.
Yeah, no, I think it's a healthy design choice, to be honest. And then even sometimes the champion is like busted, and they will still have like way too much agency. Like it could be like generally just like the worst overall stats, like Zeri, and the way the champion's designed makes it difficult for the champion to ever actually be not useful. So they got to do that less. You know, Riot's got to fix that up.
That they really do.
And then they released Neferi, and like it's even worse, and the champion's
It's because Neferi is a little doggo that you cannot pet in game, which is atrocious. Although I think that's one of the emotes you can pet them.
All Neferi's minions have 800,000 health, no problem. Just perma all in, tanky, first strike, 8,000 gold. I wish somebody would pick Neferi. That'd be fun. Neferi top's broken.
We'll probably see it happen here in a little bit. I wouldn't be too terribly surprised.
They should do it now. They should restart and do it now.
Restart and do it now?
Yeah, do it live. Do it now. Put a Navi on Neferi. Why not? The names sound kind of similar, you know? Similar letters shared.
Perhaps. But either way, I am excited to see this particular game because, again, this is game number 2, and we are going to see, maybe we'll see a little bit going on here. Zen and Ultravox about to walk into Candy Hammerspike. From that they do, we are going to see Zen stunned up pretty quickly. Nice chunk of damage, but no summoner spells burned, but that is going to put tempo on the side of the side of INT.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, similar thing happened last lane, right? Except in reverse.
Well, yes, exactly.
So that means that by, you know, just the way things work, that In the Trees is going to win this game because they won the trade.
They won the trade, but will they win the game is the question.
Based off of last game exclusively for statistical analysis, that means 100% yes, they will win the game.
And, you know, so one thing that I had pointed out to me, I think it was yesterday, that I feel really bad that I did not notice this. And it's the fact that I'm dyslexic means I should have noticed it way sooner. Is Pagtropus backwards is support gap.
Is it? I had no idea what he was trying to cook with that name.
Look at it. It's support gap.
No, you're right. That's what it is. I just had no idea.
I have to applaud them for that because that is just impressive.
No, that's funny actually. I like it. And then the karma pick. I would have been much more appreciative of the karma pick had I realized that in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah, and as a result, it's kind of funny that Civilock is the same thing.
What is Civilock backwards?
Clovis.
AC.
If you know, you know. There we go. Civilock taking a lot of damage right there. Is they're going to get taken down again? First blood going over to Broccoli. Bow Explode, sorry. And that is going to be the second kill that Bow Explode is taking. I believe they took first blood last game, too.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Almost the exact same manner. I am interested to see the Poppy matchup. I didn't think about Poppy canceling Camille E, but that is going to be pretty obnoxious for Camille. I don't think that Camille's E is on a lower cooldown than Poppy's W. Is that her W, right? And Poppy eventually kind of like does a ton of damage.
Poppy is one of those champions that I always slept on. I don't know why.
It's a boring champion to play, that's why.
I don't really feel like it's that terribly... I understand why it'd be seen as boring. I don't think it is, having played it, but it's just one of those ones that I never thought about playing the champion.
I used to play Poppy back when she was one of the old Poppy with like the scary Lala-Poppy skin, just because I thought it was
funny. I don't want to remember that. Stop reminding me.
That and Urgot I used to pick just because I wanted to be different, and I'd always lose, and they would like the picks would never do anything, and I'd be like, yeah, that's what I get.
And as we can see here, Utility Monster looking for that top gank They want to go in, and we can see them going in now onto
kinda free.
Broccoli. Utility
Unless
monster.
Brock can E-flash.
Yeah, flashes are going to come out right here. Broccoli's going to be taking a lot of damage, trying to go back in, trying to stay alive, does not manage to do it. Navi gets the kill, so that is going to be them pulling ahead once again. But we saw that happen last time too. I feel like we're having a bit of deja vu.
Yeah, it's exactly in reverse, aside from the exactly what happened mid lane, which is the same as last game. I do think that Brock could have lived that if he had eaten into Skarner and then flashed away, but maybe I'm wrong. Wait, he's just going back for more.
Yeah, went back in, does manage to pick up.
Really interesting.
Well, it's because you got Bow Explode coming in now to join it this time. They are going to jump out, throw out the flail. Do manage to get that second shot down. Tilimash is going to be the one who gives up their life there. So once again, kill order is essentially the same with INT, UB, INT for the first 3 kills. And look at that. We have the Windrake as the first dragon of the game.
Well,
so it is not a
I was
Windsoul.
wrong. I can't ever be right about anything, I guess. My bad, Riot. Sorry for trying to have a good time and predict things.
So now we're going to see if we end up getting a Hextech Dragon for that soul. Ooh, I like the dive in. Too bad it didn't work.
I don't know. I just don't think I don't think there's a chance that works. I don't know if it's worth going for at that point.
I don't think so. I do think they were trying to proc, like they're the double stuns coming out. Oof, that's painful.
You know what? It's called limit testing, and if you don't limit test, you don't know if you can't do it, right? You got to figure out live. You know, you're 7-0 on a champion. You're like, I could 1v5, sure, and you immediately get hit by like a Cinderace or something. You're like, well, shouldn't do that again.
It's like Broccoli last game on the Renekton getting jumped on by 4 members of YUBI. Right here we see, though, that Zen is going to get taking a lot of damage. Ignite is down. They're going to run away. They're going to go almost go down there. That health pot coming out the last possible second. Kenny now trying to get those shots off. Does manage to pull off the Ultravox, and that is going to be he who stops picking up that kill. Double kills in that bot lane. 1 going to each side of INT, and we are starting to see a little bit of a reverse of last game.
Yeah, really good from INT. I don't know how I feel about the Misfortune pick, to be honest. I think Misfortune's really strong in lane, obviously, but I don't know if there's any natural synergy that's going into the rest of the team for Misfortune. And there's a lot of ways to have Misfortune's ult interrupted this game as well, which is going to mean you're going to have to kind of like wait for the team fight to develop pretty far, and also at the same time have a very good angle to be able to pull it off.
That is true. We are going to be able to see a lot of stuns coming out from Pagtropus as they scatter the weak. We are going to see now a early dragon once again out on the side of INT. Kenny Hammerspike burning that flash in order to stay alive. Ultravox trying to put that pressure on does mean that they're going to be distracted enough to where they don't realize that the dragon is gone. Now we have an Ocean Drake as dragon number 2. With that Ocean Drake, I kind of hope we see UB prioritize it because they do need to get themselves on the board here. Civil, as we can see over there, we've got the Skarner utility monster taking away that blue buff. So getting a little bit of counter jungling in as we see Bow Explode starting to go up to clear their top side jungle.
I do think that counter jungling as a whole is not overly utilized super well from a lot of teams that we watch. I know it's definitely difficult, especially when there's comms, but if you know the jungler is bot side, for example, and camps are respawning, you don't lose anything by checking, right? Like, at the worst, just go check. You might get pushed off, but you have a little more information on where they're going to be in the future. Try to like actively make 1-for-1 trade. Like, be a reactive jungler. You don't always have to go for the plays.
If you see someone waiting for the in the bush right there, trying to be a little bit of a hider, not going to be able to get away. They're going to take so much damage there as the Iceborne is just doing so much in that bot side. Now we're seeing the power of the Poppy taking multiple tower shots. They're going to be able to stay alive though, picking up that kill.
I really think that Bo just has a very strong understanding of top lane map. Like, he pulls up such weird stuff sometimes. I wouldn't say Poppy's the weirdest, but I wouldn't say I've seen a Poppy top in a very long time either. You know? But like, it makes sense into Camille. I just never would have thought about it.
Oh, absolutely. And with the amount of dashes on the side of YUBI, though, it's kind of, you're really only going to be seeing a lot on the hook shot and from Zen diving in. There's not a lot of dashes on the side of YUBI, but I do think that that's going to be very useful because those are the 2 hard engages that if any member of INT gets stunned up, then that's going to be a great defensive tool. There we go. The ultimate denial. Huslap stepping up a little bit farther. Bolo's going to go out, finds Zen in mid-air, and that means the Glacial Fissure is going to get thrown out, not going to be able to get that knock up, but that was huge.
This is a very, very good. I don't know. I just don't know how I feel about a lot of this, to be honest. I'm trying to like guess what the next play is gonna be, and I really don't know
Oh,
like
I
what the
like Bo
winning move
Explode just being
is.
cheeky, running in there, going straight for the Zen Zen. They're like, no, 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 no. We are going to fight this out right here. Double stun's going to get knocked on them up in the top lane. They are going to be able to find safety under that
This
tower.
is
Kenny taking the
weird.
tower shots does mean that they're going to be trading tower
All
damage.
right,
Very well done. Bo Explode picking up that heal just at the last possible second. Zen Zen could be looking for a cheeky ignite. We got you Slops coming over, but able to keep that from happening.
That was really, really good juggling. I personally like to just have the wrong person tank immediately, ruin the entire thing, and then commit to it anyways. However, when you do a dive correctly like that, you better results happen, you know? There's less content for the channel, for sure, when you do it the right way, but at the same time, it's probably better if you're looking to win a playoff game, which is not something that I ever necessarily try to do.
Ooh, I'm liking this here. We got Utility Monster Broccoli throwing out, and we're trying to avoid getting the flash, and that is going to be a huge jump on hookshot, finding the target. Hextech Ultimatum's going to get dropped down. Broccoli has nowhere to go. Health bar is going to slowly get deleted, and the tower shots are not going to do enough damage. That is a death in the top lane. Broccoli taken down as we see
That is a
Yubi
hard
eat their
combo to
vegetables.
escape from. You know, Poppy being a big counter pick is one thing, but Skarner Camille, like, where are you gonna go? You
Ooh,
know?
look at that crystal arrow finding the target. The snipe coming out means that Ultravox is going to get double stunned right there. Nowhere for them to go at. Well, they thought they were going to do more damage. Did manage to pick it up as we see He Who Slaps throwing out the Q. Nice bit of the Rams power coming through right there.
Ah, man. I don't know. I don't think the misfortune pick is the move. I really don't understand the point of it in this comp specifically. You know, you can get the curse of the sad.
Pagtropus is
Bullet
going to be
time,
in
things
trouble
like
here. We got the
that.
Hex Flash coming over the wall. Zen Zen's looking for that engage. Pag going to be able to avoid it, though, by getting underneath their tower.
That was a good, yeah, really good gank avoid. I would say it was essential almost. But again, like, I don't want to harp too much on champion picks, especially when I can just be right after the thing. You know, in hindsight, I get the misfortune rel combo. I don't think it's going to be overly fruitful for the majority of the game.
Yeah, I can see some good advantages for it. It's just a matter of is Yubi going to be able to pull it off? I think they will. They're going to have enough tank in this later part of the game that's going to end up being fairly painful, I think, for INT to deal with. More frustrating than anything.
Maybe, but Ash is going the damage.
Brock Lee, once again, does manage to avoid the hook shot, throwing out the early ultimate in order to make sure that they're able to get that CC down. They are going to be the one focused this game, and they're okay with it as they're trying to get away, trying to run to the edge here. Do not have flash, so they're not going to be able to get out, but they are going to waste as much time as possible, which is going to leave Brock Lee plenty of time to work on this dragon. So that's going to be another dragon snuck out from under the nose of Yubi. Pagtropus is going to be right here in the mid lane. Going to be the next one has to worry about getting ganked, but they just have to run towards Spotside River and they're fine. Now we got the Mountain Soul coming back up once again.
Ah, script is so boring. Rewrite it, guys. Come on. This is
Glacial Fissure
interesting.
coming out does mean that we're going to see Skarner taken down. That is going to be unfortunate. Civillock is going to be stunned up and has have to cleanse in order to try and stay alive, but there we go. The Scatter the Weak comes out. Ultimate Power
Yeet.
unleashed. So much damage, and now we got He Who Slops taken down. Ultravox did manage to drop the Bullet Storm. Not going to be enough. Trading kills back and forth. And that is going to end up with INT coming out on top once again.
That's kind of a banger arrow.
Again,
Out of nowhere.
look at the gold, though. This is exactly the same as last game.
There's
so
no
Yubi
towers.
is
There's
currently
like
on
two-
track to win.
There's no towers. There's like 2 plates taken. I mean, I guess I get it at this point. In the Trees needs to work on getting a tower down. Hopefully 2 towers down, you know, or even 3. That'd be great. They're picking up plates right now, which is awesome. I think I have found out the reason the gold seems stagnant. 3K is pretty good at 13 minutes, but I think it could be a little higher. They are chasing kills, which is always fun, though.
It's just, you know, it's a little bit too spicy up here. I'm thinking that INT's just, you know, they're missing a little something. They're pulling ahead early on in these fights, but they're not pulling ahead in that gold lead, which is going to end up hurting them. If we look at the gold distribution here, most of it...
I'm
pretty even.
surprised to see Ultravox is not as. It's only like what 1,200 gold down, which really isn't bad considering the overall state of the way the Misfortune has been getting hit by the Ash Arrow.
I guess I'm not too
don't-
terribly shocked. We are going to see a gank here in the top lane. Top lane tower is going to go down a lot sooner. Broccoli's going to finally get brought a lot of damage onto a Navi. Navi's not able to get away. Hammer is going to get brought down on their head, so that's going to be a nice bit of gold in their pocket. They do have a substantial gold lead as well. Nice stun coming out from Pactropus, but unfortunately, when you've got 3 members of YUBI there, it's not going to make a difference if you only stun one of them. All right, and we do have a Leandry Syndra coming out with a Dark
I
Seal
think
that
that's
has
necessary.
no stacks.
Yeah, I think Leandry's is necessary.
Yeah.
Darksteel, I don't mind. I think it's a really good buy when you're a little low on gold, to be honest. Like, there's a ton of payoff with almost no rip. Like, it's 350 gold at the worst. Like, you get essentially just a second Doran's picked up, right? But like, the positives are so big.
Yeah. I do like the health, and I do like the burn. Like as a concept, I do like both of those choices, just so you can kind of try and get a little bit more. But I'm not sure. Then again, I don't know mid lane build, so I really don't have room to speak.
I think Leandry's is not bad in any way, shape, or form, and I think it's definitely the smart purchase. Like you said, there's a lot of health to kind of burst down later between Rel, Skarner, and possibly Camille. Leandry's is going to guarantee that you get a little extra burn off with the percent max health. Plus, the stats on it are pretty good. I think I almost like it more than Luden's most of the time.
Well,
But I'm an 80 carry player, so what do I know?
Yeah.
We have like 3 items.
And either way, right now we do have, with the way these rotations are working out, and with the Mountain Soul being what's on the board here, do you see Rift Herald is up. I do kind of expect to see these folks work their way up there, but I'm
Not me. I think they're going to do random stuff around Dragon, and I think one of them is going to get caught. Let's see. Ash is looking for it. It's just a Rel, though. Never mind. No catch. Poppy's looking for an angle. I think Victor's about to get Fund on. He's about to get Fund all over.
Yeah. Quite possibly. We do see Civillock here. It does look like they're probably going to get engaged on here. Flash over the wall, knocked into the tower, knock up with the hammer. Does mean that a lot of damage is going to be coming out, and that is going to be death from above. Unfortunately, Broccoli is going to take multiple tower shots. They do manage to get away from the aggro just in time. Do get that demolished proc off, so that is going to be mid lane tower brought exceptionally low. We don't see any towers taken on the side of YUBI yet, but we do see Camille pushing in steadily on that top lane.
What should the next move? What's the move? What's the vibe on this one, Sherigan?
Pressure
Dragon,
in the top
right?
lane, push in that tower, push in this mid wave, and then go for Rift Herald.
Rift Herald, you say?
Yes,
Not the
Rift
dragon
Herald.
up in 10 seconds?
No, you're going to see INT put a lot of pressure on this dragon right here. I would say trade objectives. But as we can see right here, we got the fight already going. Bow Explode is already ready to go. We can see Utility Monster looking for that side lane angle. Is going to be hopping over the wall. We are going to see the rest of YUBI coming in, trying to force them out of the Dragon Pit. Lots of damage. Bullet Rain coming down. We do see the knock-up coming out from He Who Slept, but unfortunately it's going to be too little too late as the damage has already come out. Ultravox on the back lane, though, is going to get knocked around by Broccoli. The hammer is going to come down on their head. Banned from this game they are. Zen flashing on top of Kenny, trying to get that damage off, but we got Kenny once again doing what happened to him last game, showing revenge, getting those arrows out. We do see Utility Monster flashing down, but it's going to be an ace on the side of INT as we see Broccoli finish it off.
That was Kenny masterclass a little bit on Ash there. I like going that item a lot. Kraken Slayer. It feels good. It feels better than Static, for sure. You do more damage. Static Triforce, you definitely feel a little worse. People build it, but and like it wins a lot, but it just doesn't have that vibe to it, you know? It's missing the vibe. It's missing the spice.
And as we look at this vision right here, it does look like we had a lot more vision control, like just kind of like evenly spaced during that fight, but it was mostly on the side of YUBI.
If they can get on Kenny, the fight changes very drastically, obviously, right? But I don't know if they're going to really be able to get on him if he just waits for Skarner to kind of appear. You have to wait until Flash is up, and at the same time, you can just back
Perhaps,
out.
but at the same time, if we're going to see like what's happening right here, Utility Monster going in hard on this bow explode. They want to get this fight started because they know Kenny isn't there. But now that Kenny's shown up, they're kind of like, well, dang it, let's back off. And we do see Broccoli coming in on the side lane, and Navi looking for that hard engage. Ultimate's getting charged up, and it gets stopped. Canceled to the last second. Hextech Ultimatum means that unfortunately Broccoli's not going to be in a spot to do anything. But here we go. Kenny on the side lane manages to get a beautiful volley, catching multiple members. Lots of arrows coming out. Kenny Hammerspike just free firing so much damage. They've got the range, and unfortunately that is going to be a double kill for the side of INT. We are going to see this fight continue. Scatter of the Week means Zen Zen's going to get burned away by that triple kill on the Syndra. The Leandry's doing its work, and that is going to be a free dragon now going over to the side of INT.
Support tag gap is kind of popping off a little bit. Kenny is doing very, very well, but Syndra's having some really impactful stuns come through the entirety of the game so far.
They certainly are. And I'm still of the opinion it should have been an objective trade instead of trying to go for that team fight. Because
I agree, 100%. I was very surprised to see that they actually went to try and contest that. I mean, like, if they flip it right, then they turn out being in the lead. But it definitely didn't go in their favor. If the gold was even, maybe, because it was a pretty close fight, but the gold was not even, and now there is kind of a substantial lead for the first time in a little bit.
For the first time, yeah. We did see them come back from a 5k gold lead, though, before. Although I think that was earlier in the game. So this late in the game, I feel like for INT, that 6k is going to be very nice in their pockets. We do see Syndra starting to pop off a little bit here. They're not bursting folks down. That Leandry's, though, is doing a fantastic job of keeping them alive for these team fights when they get caught. So that's been really nice. We do have not the huge front line on the side of YUBI, which I think is going to end up hurting them as these team fights go on, because we can already see how massive Broccoli, Bow Explode have gotten. And He Who Slaps is just going to get up there too. Oh, they took off the HP from Leandry's. That's my bad.
Yeah, a little bit ago.
I completely forgot about that.
You imbecile.
I know.
You big dummy. You misled 26 people on this. How do you feel?
I didn't mislead anybody. I got called out for being wrong.
Whatever. They don't know. Don't listen to Fireman.
Okay.
What does Fireman know?
We've got Utility Monster jumping onto He Who Slops. He Who Slops health bar getting deleted fairly quickly, but it's okay, as we can see that the rest of INT is here to back them up. Civillock not going to be able to get away as they get frozen in place and smacked around.
Baron Angle.
Oh my goodness, the Iceborne trio just doing so much damage.
It's like a TFT comp. They just go Baron, right? Yeah, Camille's bot has TP. There's no point in fighting it.
Oh, good stun coming out from the side of Pactropus. I do like the little bits of damage here. We are going to be seeing an early Baron coming out from the side of INT. I like this here because that is going to be a lot of damage that YUBI is just not able to put up because they're just going in one at a time, which is hurting them very poorly. Kenny, in the meantime, very nice, just peppering away.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the point of even kind of just checking like that is. Like, either fully commit or have your jungler kind of sneak around and blow flash and try to steal it. There's not really filtering in.
I like the casualness that Poppy has just walking through the jungle as they encounter a Navi.
Yeah, it's one of those old champions where there's just like not a ton mechanically that's going to happen, so you're just kind of going to hang out. Ooh. That stun didn't hit? Weird.
I don't think it went off. I think they dropped the Q and they were a little bit too far back, so it didn't actually
quarter inch out.
It doesn't matter, though, because look how much damage Kenny's doing to those towers. So these towers are just getting absolutely whittled away. They do not really exist anymore. Stun on Zen Zen is going to be a lot of damage. Unfortunately, not going to get popped up. Bow Explode just coming in, smacking them around with that flail. Are going to pick that up. We've got Iceborne, Kenny, Hammerspike, Ultimate dropping down, so that means that Misfortune's going to get deleted. Ultravox not able to do anything. Stun is going to find the target of Utility Monster. Utility Monster is going to get deleted right there as well. That is going to be a huge amount of pressure on the side of INT as they are slowly taking this game away.
If they had a bigger wave, they could probably end. But I think they just get one inhib reset.
Yep. A Navi right here. I don't know what they think they're doing. It's a Poppy. A Poppy is just going to do so much damage to you at this point.
Yeah, there's just a lot of odd decisions. You know, maybe maybe they got a little too creative with the draft. I don't know if Triforce Skarner is the move. Seems pretty squishy, right? Like Syndra just kind of one-tapped him. I mean, Syndra has a death cap, but...
Well, yes, when they're allowed to get that far ahead, it is going to be a problem.
Who's the most ahead? It looks
when-
like Ashe.
Ashe is easily the most ahead.
I like Kraken a lot more than Static first by a whole lot, especially if you don't need wave clear. It feels so much better.
And it's stolen. You can see
That's
Pack
what you get.
taking
That's
it
what
away.
you get, dumb
Taking
jungler.
away the Raptor.
Jungler, my buffs, my camps. It's past 15 minutes, so no more jungle for you.
Junglers don't get to farm anymore.
Yeah, he got his item upgraded. You know, it's done. He's as useful as he's getting.
Well,
I do like the pure itemization of armor. Civillock does pump out okay magic damage, but at the same time, if you just kill Civillock, then nothing matters anymore.
now we are going to see the collapse on the background. We do see that the Banshee's Veil is going to get popped by the Crystal Arrow. Unfortunately, the rest of YUBI is trying to do the flank where they come in on the background. They do manage to take Kenny Hammerspike. Kenny Hammerspike is going to get taken away and ripped to shreds. But in the meantime, the rest of INT is doing what they do best. I do like that flank by Utility Monster coming up behind them.
Yeah, that was really good. Probably saved them from losing the game right there.
Ultravox trying to run away from the Poppy. The Broccoli's like, no, we're fighting this. Come here. I want to fight. There we go. Knock up. Damage coming down. Not a lot you can do from the hero of Demacia. We are going to see the final Nexus turret go down as well, and Navi is trying to finish off this fight. In the meantime, we've got the rest of the fight going around the Dragon Pit. We do see an objective stolen by Utility Monster. He did manage to come in and take that away from Bo Explode. Bo, you know, is not happy about that, so they just go ahead, start wailing away on this Skarner. Not a lot he can do, but he's doing quite a bit. Does manage to almost get He Who Slops, but at the same time...
A lot less damage coming out of that Skarner than I thought there would be onto the Braum.
And we're
I
getting
mean,
calls
it's a
to
good
investigate
play to
Josh's
pick
account because of Smite winning.
Yeah, check in PC. He's got the Smite script uploaded. I do think it was a good call to go for Mountain there. Definitely risky because if they had just ignored, if In the Trees just ignored that, I think they hit the game. But, you know, they didn't, and they were rewarded with no Mountain Soul either. So, very good play to YUBI. Let's see if they can do that 8 more times in a row.
Yep, I don't think that's going to happen.
Maybe 3 of them have their internet go out.
I do think this tower is going to go very, very quickly just because of that Demolish procs. There it goes. So that tower doesn't exist anymore, and that is going to be Broccoli jumping onto Zen, pushing them away. Nice pressure coming out from INT. Not a lot that YUBI is able to do right here. They're looking for that engage, looking for that side. Do not manage to find it just yet. We do see a Navi trying to get that hook. They're going to get pushed back by Poppy. Zen trying to throw it out. Bulletstorm is going to find multiple members doing a lot of damage, but those health bars are still very intact. Zen now getting peppered by the arrows from Ashe. Ripped to shreds, slowed, not able to get away, and unfortunately, that is going to be all she wrote. As we can see, the Nexus is exposed, taking down that last inhibitor just to make sure that this inhibitor doesn't respawn and prevent them from finishing the game. And we can see over here, Skarner taking Broccoli under the tower, trying to finish off that fight. Does manage to get the shutdown.
And that's a moral victory.
The game is going to be over.
2-0 YUBI there. That one counts as a win. That shutdown. Good game out in the trees. It made a, you know, I expected kind of last game to go like that, and it didn't. So it's good to see them kind of bounce back and make correct decisions instead of incorrect decisions. Good job, guys.
That is true. That is true. It is always nice to see the correct decisions being made. We don't see the throw happening this time. And as it looks like we're having a bit of a scuff coming out from the League of Legends client. So there we go. Got that fixed a little bit, I think. Kind of. Maybe. Not really. All right. With that, folks,
good to me, man.
we're going to go ahead and take a quick break, and we will be right back. Don't go away.